Okay, so this video we're going to go through the basics of Graphmatica. Graphmatica is a program that is used to graph different functions, and we're going to focus on linear functions or linear graphs. So the first thing is, where is Graphmatica on your laptop? You can find it a few different ways. You can go to the Start button and then scroll all the way down to the letter G, and you should find it there. So there it is. You can click on there and Graphmatica, so that one with the calculator. Or you can just type, the first time I did, I just typed it down here in the search button. Once you start typing graph, it should come up and you can click open. What I have done is I have pinned it to my taskbar, so it's down here, down the bottom, and so in future, I just need to click on the little calculator symbol and it opens. So that is one way of having it nice and easy. Okay, let me just clear my screen. Okay, so this is the what you will see when you first open it. You've got your y-axis, which is your vertical axis, and you've got your x-axis, which is your horizontal axis. You can change your scale so you can see more, and you've got more points on there. So the first thing we're going to look at is how do we put in a coordinate or coordinates into our graph. So here's an example. 1A, use Graphmatica on one axis or one screen to plot the following points. So the coordinate 2, 3 and the coordinate 1, 3. So here we're looking at, so that's our x value and that's our y value. Yep, that's our x value. The first coordinate is always the x value. The second coordinate is always the y value. So first of all, the coordinate 2, 3. We go back to Graphmatica. So 2 on the x-axis, 3 on the y-axis would be this point here. So 2, 3. How do we plot that? Well, what we do is we go to View. We then go to Data Plot Editor, and it brings up this table. So we type in 2 for the x, 3 for the y, and just press enter, and that point will come up. Now you notice that is in green, and that point is in green. It's a diamond shape, and the symbol is a diamond. You can change these if you like. Okay. Then if we go back to that screen again, the next coordinate was 1, 3, 1, 3. So x was 1, y was 3, enter, and that coordinate comes up as well. Okay, so now how do we copy this into our Word document? Because that's actually what the next part says. There's two ways you can do it. Well, there's actually more than two ways, but one way of going is View. Sorry, not View. Go Edit. Edit. Copy Graph. And for this this lesson, I'm going to get to just copy things in black and white. So we go Edit, Copy BMP, and Monochrome. Monochrome basically means that whatever you are copying, even though there's a colored background, it will copy it into black and white. So Edit, Copy Graphs BMP, Monochrome, select that, go to your document, and paste. And there it is. There are your two coordinates. And you can see it's copied in black and white. Another way of doing it is to press this little shortcut up here, which is Copy Graphs. So you could do it that way as well. So now let's go back to the questions. So we've pasted our work. Next part is complete the following table of values for the linear relation y equals 2x. Now this part, filling out this table. Now in the examples you saw in the videos, the tables were vertical. This table is just drawn horizontally. So the x values are on the top and the y values are on the bottom. So in other words, pull this up. This will be an ordered pair. This will be an ordered pair, etc. So I'm going to work this one out. You may be able to quickly fill this in, but if you haven't done much of this before, I'm going to work this one out for you. So y equals 2x. Y equals 2x, by the way. Y equals, that's 2. There's an implied multiplication sign between the 2 and the x because they're stuck together. There's a multiplication sign there, so 2 times x. So for the first one, x is minus 3. So when x is minus 3, what is y? Y equals 2 times minus 3, which is minus 6. So what does that tell us? It tells us the first coordinate is minus 3 minus 6. So the first coordinate, this coordinate here is minus 3 minus 6. And then we go through and we fill in the rest of this table. So then we sub in minus 2 into where x is. So 2 times, instead of minus 3, we sub in minus 2. So 2 times minus 2 gives us minus 4. Then the next spot for x, we sub in x equals minus 1. So 2 times minus 1 gives us minus 2. And then we keep going. So now then we sub in x equals 0 into the equation. So y equals 2 times 0 is 0. And then if we keep going, we get 2, 4, and 6. So our coordinates are, now I might just rub this out so I have some room. So our coordinate here, so that's one coordinate there. This coordinate, the x value is written first, and the y value. The x value is written first, then the y value. The x value is written first, then the y value, etc. So 1, 2, 2, 4, and 3, 6. So these are the coordinates that we are going to plot. So we've completed the table. We've got our coordinates here just by reading off minus 3, minus 6, minus 2, minus 4, etc. So these are our coordinates. The x value is always first, then the y value. Then we're going to plot it. So we go back to our graph. Now I've already used this, so I'm just going to go File, New. I don't need to save it. Do I want to save it? No. So I'm just going to get a new plot. So now I just type these coordinates in. So we've got minus 3, minus 6, minus 2, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6. Okay, now I can't see all my points. So there's a few ways you can do this. You can, because your screen's a touch screen, you can just pull the axis in a little bit, and that's fine for today. Just pinch it so you can see it. Next week, I will show you how to change the axis, but we'll leave that for another time. If you want, there is actually an activity for you to play around with that if you get to that point. So we can see all our points now, or all our coordinates are there. Now what we want to do is we want to fit a straight line. Now, before you can fit a straight line, you need to change one setting on your in Graphmatica. If you go to Options, and you'll get this coming up. And what you need to go to Curve Fit. So the very last tab. So under Global Settings, the very last tab, Curve Fit. So how I went to that again is I press Options, press Curve, go to Curve Fit, and next to the first option where it says Polynomial, Maximum Order of Polynomial, you might have, for example, the number 3 here or the number 2 here. Change it to the number 1. Doesn't matter about anything else. Make sure it says Polynomial. Polynomial is ticked, first of all. and the number 1 is there, and then press OK. You don't need to worry about anything else, just that one. Press OK. And what that will make sure is that you're graphing a linear relation, because a linear relation, the highest power of x is 1. So that's why we needed to put the number 1 there to explain that. Okay, once you've done that, you press curve fit and your straight line is drawn. Now, one interesting thing you'll notice is when you put your cursor over this line, you'll notice down the bottom of the screen, first of all, the point will be shown, but also, I'll move further down. I'm talking about down here. You'll also know that y equals 2.0x, so y equals 2x, the equation is actually shown as well. Now, if we want to then paste this into our document, you can just copy graphs, or again, you can go view, copy graphs, monochrome, or faster. Let's do it the faster way. So let's go copy graphs, and we'll go to here, and you can graph it. You can add it in. Sorry, not graph it, add it in. So paste the graph below. There we go. It's done. Now, E, plot the linear relation y equals 2x plus 1 on the same axis. So if we want to plot it on the same axis, so y equals 2x plus 1. So to plot this, we're plotting it using the table. So I've given you the table. I've already filled it in. So all we need to do is actually just type in these points. Now we want to put this on the same axis. So the way we do that is, if we wanted to do a new one, we'd just go File, New, okay, and we'd get rid of this graph because we've already pasted it in. But we don't want to do that. We want to have 2 lines on the same axis. So the way we do that is we go to New, and you'll notice it says Data Plot. If you want to go back, you can always go back. We just want to go to New. So you can pick another color. It automatically goes to another color. You can pick another symbol if you like. And we are going to sub in the points. So -3, -5. So this is just from the table. So this table here, I'll show you in a minute, -2, -3. So -3, -5, -2, -3, -1, -1. I've already worked out these out. So I'm just typing them in. -1, -1, 0, 1, 1, 3, 2, 5, 3, 6. And now, and actually no, that's not 2, 6. That doesn't look right to me. That last point. It should be 7, not 6. That should be a 7. Let's fix that there. So I've made that mistake there. So remove point. Okay. So we'll press 3, 7. Okay, that looks a bit better to me. And now we don't need to again go to options and do this again, because you only ever need to do that once. So we don't ever need to do that again. You don't need to go into options again for a linear graph. It's already saved in the settings. Now we just go to curve fit. And there we go. And interestingly enough, we will notice that these two are parallel. You might want to think about why. We will be looking at that a little bit later on in another lesson. Okay, so now you can copy the graphs and you can paste them. You don't need to say, if you're pasting them into a document, you won't necessarily need to save them. But if you want to save them, you can go File, Save As, and save them in your documents. So there's a lot of other functions here, but we're not going to look at them today. Plenty of time to do that next lesson. Okay, so you can have a go at the document down below in MASCOM, but also don't forget there's also this help function here. There's a lot in there as well. Okay, happy Graphmatica.